Greetings, grade 9, and welcome to a new reading comprehension lesson and a new theme. This time our theme is called Handicrafts and our lesson is called the Phoenix. First of all, let's answer the following discussion questions. What are handicrafts? Whenever you come across a word that you do not know, you're not familiar with, try to divide it. How can we divide this word? Hand or handy and crafts. Okay, crafts done by hand. Okay, this is what handicrafts are. Examples of handicrafts like basket weaving, woodwork, carpet weaving, jewelry making. Lebanon is famous for some beautiful handicrafts. Next question, how important are handicrafts to a country's culture? Handicrafts are very important to a country's culture because they reflect its traditions, they reflect its culture, the beauty of its heritage, and it's passed from one generation to the other. This heritage and this culture of the country through handicrafts is passed from one generation to another. Name two advantages of handicrafts to craftsmen. Craftsmen or craftspeople are those who make the handicrafts. Of course, it's a great source of income because, you know, when tourists come to Lebanon or to any other country, they want to buy something traditional. They want to buy a handicraft that reflects that country's heritage and culture. So it's a source of money for them. It's a good source of money. And then they are proud people. Why? Those craftsmen help keep and maintain their country's heritage and pass it from one generation to another. Okay, those are the answers. Please take a good look at them when you study for your quiz. And on the right here, you see examples of different types of handicrafts. Those are handmade pottery, vases, and hand-painted, of course. Here you can see carpets, copper, different types of materials, all handmade. Words and terms to know before we begin the lesson. Handicrafts, again, traditional and decorative objects made by hand. Craftsmen are artisans. We also call them artisans or people. The craftsman is the person who makes handicrafts. Cultural heritage, number 3, cultural heritage. Ways of living developed by a certain community and passed from one generation to another. Heritage, our culture. Examples of cultural heritage would be the debki, wedding traditions, traditional weddings, different types of food like tabbouleh, like kibbe, types of celebration, the way we celebrate Eid, the way we celebrate other types of important occasions for us. All of those make up our cultural heritage, what we pass from one generation to another. Number 4, encrusted. Encrusted, the word encrusted is an adjective meaning that's covered or decorated with a hard surface layer. For example, this stone is encrusted with silver, meaning it is covered with silver. Majestic, as the word would convey, the word majestic means grand, having or showing great beauty or scale. The sculpture made at the sculpture displayed at the museum is majestic. Vibrant, vibrant means lively. She was wearing very vibrant colors to the party. Endangerment means the statement of the state of being in danger, putting someone or something at risk or danger. Many of our handicrafts, of our traditional crafts are endangered nowadays. If the craftsmen don't continue, if this traditional job does not continue, they are endangered. Labor means work. Quintessential. When something is quintessential, what does it mean? representing the most perfect example of quality or class, ultimate, the most, the best. Dyed, D-Y-E-D, is colored. The textile was dyed with green. The phoenix, probably most of you have heard of that. What is the phoenix? It's a legendary or mythical bird. It doesn't exist, it never existed, but it's legendary, known for rising from the ashes. It burns to death and then is reborn again. This is the phoenix. Phoenicians are ancient people who used to inhabit the eastern Mediterranean, specifically Lebanon. Mediterranean is the sea that borders Lebanon, our country, from the west. This is the Mediterranean. And the Phoenicians are the people who lived here in ancient times. Okay, let's start with the lesson called the Phoenix. Now what you see displayed in front of you are traditional handicraft. Those are cutlery. Cutlery are like forks, spoons, and knives, as you see here. This is what cutlery is. Those are traditional cutlery handicrafted in Jazin, which is very famous for this type of handicraft. Blurb, read the following article about the importance of the Jazin cutlery as a Lebanese traditional handicraft. Paragraph 1. The Phoenicians first manufactured bronze knives before moving to the use of more noble metals like silver and gold. Archaeologists have found a strikingly handsome and modern silver knife encrusted with gold in a royal tomb in Byblos dating from 19th century BC. At present, the center of handicraft cutlery is in Jazin, tucked away on the slopes of Tumat Niha in the south of the country, amidst majestic mountains, vibrant orchards, and imposing waterfalls. They're describing Jazin now, the place of this traditional cutlery. Jazin workshops are places where those handicrafts are made, use material like ivory and buffalo, goat, and sheep horns, as well as stainless steel, silver steel, and copper. The shape of the cutlery objects, again the cutlery, spoons, forks, and knives, things we use for eating or at the table. The shape of the cutlery objects manufactured there is quite unique. It's special. The handle made of horn material represents a bird scratching his chest with his beak. The bird's wings are made of copper and his head is mounted by a tuft made of bone material and dyed in red colored. Many of the artisan workshops fashion each item by hand. That's why we call it a handicraft. From the very first step to the last. Only around 10 families in Jazin are masters of this trade. A Jazin cutlery craftsman can only manufacture 6 to 7 pieces per day. See, only. It takes so much time. The traditional cutlery was born in 1770 when the Haddad family settled in that quintessential town. Its production consisted at that time of army rifles, guns, knives, and steel blade swords. So they were making things for war and battles. This was when it started in 1770. Its production consisted at that time of army rifles, knives, and steel blade swords. In 1930, the artisans developed the cutlery business by creating handles with birds' heads made of bones and buffalo's horns. These handles were inlaid with colored bones and brass is a type of metal, like copper, and were applied to spoons, forks, knives, paper knives, and daggers. This unique traditional craft is so well regarded that it has been presented by Lebanese presidents and officials to dignitaries. Dignitaries are famous people all over the world, beginning with the Ottomans in the 18th century. These crafts hold within each piece the authentic or the real spirit or the original spirit of Lebanon. History, culture, and beauty. What adds tremendous value to these crafts is the eye for design and style. In fact, these handicraft creations are carved in the shape of a phoenix bird, the bird we talked about, the legendary bird, and vibrantly painted, and as a proof of quality, each single piece is stamped S&S Haddad with the Lebanese cedar. These handmade wares with their phoenix handles are synonymous with Jazine. The design behind the firebird pattern changes from family to family, but the story is the same. The latest master of this art is Samir Haddad, who died 28 January 2015 at the age of 84. He was praised for his skills and art by many people. Traditionally, the black firebird handles were carved from dusty brown cow or bull horns that, when polished, transform into a lustrous jet black color. There was a time when these raw materials were brought from France, Germany, Italy, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia. Now, however, they are mainly found locally. The white firebird handles were made of camel bone and sourced from Egypt, Iraq, and Syria, as well as Beirut, Iblis Sa'i, Jazine, and Tripoli within Lebanon. The stainless steel is usually from either Italy or France. The firebirds are decorated with thin colored resin pipes in hues of light gray, teal, soft blue, red, black, white, yellow, and green, as well as pure silver sheets and brass, both of which are sourced directly from Lebanon to support domestic local production. So this paragraph tells us the materials that are used and their sources. Where do these materials come from? Founded in 1770, this was when it was established, it was begun. Haddad cutlery used artificial materials for the intricate handles, delicate, very well made, because of cost and efficiency. Part of its charm are the resulting ribboned striations of different shades of color. Some cutlery items occasionally have flecks of gold luster cleverly integrated into the bird design. A main element in their phoenix inlay work is brass. It is becoming difficult to source natural materials due to increased global eco-consciousness and its endangerment of animals. Remember, a huge part of this cutlery, the head part or the handles are made of bull horns and other animals. And so those who are environmentally conscious are against that because some of the animals have become endangered. Furthermore, natural bone cutlery requires nearly double the work and is nearly double the price. When handmade with natural materials, the average time to make a single phoenix bird from whittling to polishing is about 45 minutes. Factories work 6 to 8 hour days and make a total of 8 to 12 pieces per person. The family's passion for this labor of love has trickled down through the generations. Finally, light reflects off this handmade cutlery in the heart of the South, and everything is still. There is beauty in creating with one's hand an item that is forever Lebanon. Those still objects carefully handcrafted have soared above the skies and landed in homes here and beyond. This symbolic bird, it represents, getting out of the ashes, being reborn again, arises from the ashes of our past, leaving the hurt behind and rising strong and powerful, just like this little piece of land, Lebanon. Now let's move on to the exercises. I'm going to start you with the exercises for this lesson, and then you will finish them up in a worksheet. Exercise A. Choose the correct answer to complete each sentence by referring to the text. Jazine is the center for orchards. Orchards, are places where they grow trees that hold fruits or vegetables like apple trees, orange trees, etc. Is it? No. Glass workshops? No. Traditional cutlery, yes. Traditional cutlery or the Jazine cutlery. Number 2, the traditional Jazine cutlery originated in or was established or founded in 1770. One setback for the production of Jazine cutlery, one problem they're facing nowadays is that it isn't beautiful enough for some modern tourists. That's not true. It's very beautiful. The Haddad family has stopped making them. No, they're still making them. Materials have become more expensive and people have become more ecosystem or environmentally conscious because animals have to be killed to make those cutlery. Jazine is a very far place. No, it isn't. So it is choice C. Okay, the answers are here. Of course, those need to be studied for the coming quiz. Your assignment posted as worksheet and is also found in the book. Answer exercises B to E posted as worksheet on the app, also found on pages 108 and 109 in your ebook. Well, this is it for today's lecture. See you during the Zoom Live. Bye.